Good morning and welcome to Speaking Free with Christopher Long and Robert Budd.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
To remind our listeners, Free is a multi-service organization that proudly supports more than 5,000 people, and we are now celebrating our 41st year of service throughout Long Island and the greater New York City area. Free's mission is to help people of all abilities realize their full potential, and we proudly support this mission through a continuum of services to include housing, recovery, crisis support, day services, youth services, integrated health, and the focus of today's show will be employment, and we are proudly supporting thousands of people in positioning them for competitive and sustainable work in the community. And in honor of National Disabilities Employment Awareness Month, we have a group of guest speakers here that are going to help us to talk a little bit about the importance of employment and how it inspires people that are differently able throughout New York City and Long Island. So welcome to all of our guests. Let me begin by introducing us to Veronica Gasparino. Thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you.
Susan Fierros, thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you.
And Timothy Iannielli. Thanks, Tim, for being here today.
Thank you.
Later on, you'll be hearing from Kristina, Rippe, Elena, Spera, and Harold Robinson. So let's begin by speaking to you, Veronica. So talk to us a little bit about what you do at Free. Let me begin there.
Okay, my position at Free is an employment specialist, and we work with many participants who are referred to our office and wish to seek employment in a career of their choice.
Can you help our listeners to better understand how we prepare someone for the workforce?
Sure. Preparation begins with learning about the participant and their career goals and work history, if any. Initially, there are meetings that occur between the specialist and the participant to assess skills or formulate a functional resume if required, and also help to improve skills that need to be polished before entering the workforce, such as interview skills, typing skills, or soft skills.
So let me just ask you, how are people referred to you for employment support?
People are typically referred to our department from the Office of People with Developmental Disabilities, otherwise known as OPWDD. For instance, there's a program that we participate in called Pathways to Employment, which is a very intensive program, and once the person is finished with that, they're referred to the Supported Employment Department, where the senior program coordinator will meet with them and then formulate a goal and help them to complete the access application or the adult career and continuing education services application. And she will make a recommendation, and that application will be submitted to access.
What's the approximate turnaround time in the process when one's referred to training and ultimately to transitioning to work? I'm assuming it varies?
Yes, it varies from individual to individual, absolutely.
So what is your role in establishing the connection between the employer and the participant?
After preparing the participant and finding a suitable position for them, and once they're in the work environment, my role is to secure and maintain a positive working relationship between the employer and the employee. So from onboarding to the actual first day on the job, my role might include assisting with training and specific job tasks. So this reduces the burden of the employer pulling staff in order to train the newly hired individual. And in addition, it shows the investment of creating an exemplary employee that would be beneficial to the success of the business.
So you visit the participant at their work site?
Correct.
As frequently as required? Or how?
Correct. In the beginning, it would be intensively, and then my job is to fade away.
Excellent. So what do you enjoy most about your work? Because it's clear that you love what you do.
I do, and there are many things about my job as an employment specialist that I love, and the most important thing is helping someone succeed in becoming gainfully employed in the career of their choice. And I also enjoy working with the participant while they work, and I enjoy watching them grow in their jobs and gain independence. It's also wonderful to be a part of the partnership between the participant and the employer and actually see the benefit of this partnership for all involved.
Excellent. Thank you, Veronica.
You're welcome.
So if people are interested in employment services with Free, who should they contact?
They should contact Nikisha Andrews, who is the Senior Program Coordinator of Supported Employment. And they can reach Nikisha at 516-524-1124 or at nandrews01 at familyres.org.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Veronica.
You're welcome. Thank you for having
kicking us
me.
off today. We're going to transition over to Susan Fierros, representing one of our employers, General Manager of the Residence Inn, Marriott, Long Island. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So speak to us a little bit about the value added to the employers, such as the Marriott Inn.
In having, being part of programs such as Free, and bringing these individuals to the properties, the value is immense, to say the least. They have a huge impact on morale, on just the staff within the properties themselves. I think they teach us more than we actually teach them. Mm-hmm. They really do. Certainly, where Tim is concerned, when Tim came to us, I think we had a real good idea of where he was going to exactly fit in, and what he really wanted to do in the property. And he has, we have watched, and we just realized he's been with us for nearly 3 years now, from the prior to graduating the program to him being employed by the Marriott Group now. He has flourished. He's taught us. We've taught him. He's gained so much confidence that it spreads throughout the entire staff, right? Mm-hmm. They see it. They see where he came from and how he's grown and developed, and it creates a great sense of morale within the hotel itself.
What are some of the benefits of the corporate entities partnering with not-for-profit community providers and formulating partnerships that support people with disabilities?
That really is, it's again, immense. The Marriott Group really is a big advocate for programs such as this. So they see this as an opportunity to help within the communities, to help individuals to generate so much. I'm even just trying to find the words. They're just such an important part. Programs such as this is such an important part within the individual communities, as well as the industries themselves. There isn't within the hospitality industry. There's so many different positions that we can bring our young adults, such as Tim, into. It can be very diverse for them, as well as the company itself. It has a great impact on our guest service scores, our guest services, our guests themselves. They love, they certainly love Tim, right? And they kind of create that sense of family, right? For the guests themselves.
You said it beautifully, because that's really our organization's culture as well, the commitment to family, which is why we are Family Residences and never changed our name, actually.
Good.
So do you feel, I'm assuming you do based on what you said, that diversity and inclusion should be part of setting the expectations of all of our desired workforce?
Oh, it absolutely should be. Absolutely. I don't think that there's anyone who we can't find a growth opportunity, a development opportunity for any of our young adults and with disabilities. Certainly I'm speaking for the hospitality industry because it is so diverse. There are many opportunities for people such as Tim and any other young adult with disabilities. if they don't want to be in front of the house and in front of people, or we have back of the house positions for them.
It's terrific.
It's very diverse. There are many different avenues that we can go down for people such as.
It's all about the match, right?
Absolutely.
As it is for all of us.
And it may take some time to find that match. It may.
Took me a
but-
long time.
Me
Find
too.
my match. Exactly. We understand.
But we find it,
Right.
and there is a place for each and every one of these individuals.
Well, we really appreciate you being here and really appreciate the partnership that we share.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tim, employee of the Residence Inn Marriott. Thank you
Yeah.
for being here, Tim.
You're welcome.
Tell us a little bit about what you do at the Residence Inn.
My job is a kitchen assistant. I am a dishwasher, and I like to help out. I love working at the Marriott Hotel. Everyone is very nice, and I meet a lot of new people. I really enjoy the breakfast. Veronica visits the Marriott and checks on me just to keep things running well.
We have something in common, breakfast. I love breakfast too.
Oh, doesn't.
What kind of breakfast do you have there?
Eggs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Excellent. So tell us a little bit about your employment specialist and how they help you at your work.
That help me very well.
Yeah?
And guide me, and it assists me. And yeah,
Terrific.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for being here.
you're welcome.
Have you been there? How long have you been there, Tim?
3 years.
Wow. Good for you. Excellent. We really appreciate you being
Thank you.
part of our show.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, Susan. Thank you, Tim, again.
You're welcome.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So for some of our audience, they have the opportunity to click on and actually watch the recording. But for those of you who are just listening, what you don't have the opportunity to see is the sincerity and the joy of the faces of people as they're speaking. And so one of the things that I want to share is that for the three of you, your faces lit up when you talked about these opportunities. And if a picture is worth 1,000 words, I think we just had 10,000 words with the sincerity in your eyes and those beautiful smiles. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So our next three guests, Chris had introduced our panel as we started off, Kristina, Rippe, Elena, Spera, and Harold Robinson. So first we're going to hear from Kristina. And Kristina is our Senior Director for Employment Services at the Rehabilitation Institute, otherwise known as TRI. Now, Chris mentioned FREE before, and the fact that FREE serves about 5,000 individuals every year. And or if you count the number of touched lives in our network, it's actually 30,000. So our network is our joy and our pride of collaboration. And today, we're really honoring the concept of collaboration and partnership as individuals. So Kristina, why don't you kick us off? What are the key components of that partnership when you talk about a successful job placement?
I would say the biggest one is motivation. Once the person has the motivation to go to work and they want to be there, we really can come in and teach them the skills necessary to be successful on most jobs.
That's great. Some of the challenges, right? Everything has pros and cons. So share the idea. What kind of challenges and how do you overcome those?
The biggest challenge is transportation. We have a lot of jobs out there that are difficult to get to, and a lot of our individuals that we work with take public transportation, and it severely limits where they can work and what hours they're able to work.
Sure. I think that's a major challenge, especially here on Long Island.
Yes,
right?
sure.
So tell us about the role of a job coach and how they can help ensure a successful employment outcome.
A job coach is really there to help in any way to make it successful. So if that's during the training to make sure that they know what their role is with the company, if that's putting them on a schedule so they're making sure their tasks are done on time, we really step in and help with anything to make it as smooth as possible.
That's great. Also, speaking of partnerships and collaborations, can you share with our audience NYSID and our relationship with NYSID?
Sure. NYSID is the facilitating agency for the Preferred Source program. It's a great program. It works with individuals that have disabilities and gets them to the workforce. And right now, they focus on partnering agencies throughout New York State with different companies that they have jobs that need to be filled, and we have individuals that are more than able to fill them. So, and TRI is lucky enough to partner with American Maintenance and fill a lot of their landscaping, janitorial, and maintenance contracts throughout some of the local colleges.
That's great. So, Kristina, if someone wants more information, how do they find out about this?
They can contact me at 516-741-2010, extension 1023, or my email, krippe@triworks.org, triworks.org.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kristina. So, our wonderful partnership with American Maintenance that Kristina just referenced. Our next guest is Elena Spera, who is a person who we know well and for years. And Elena, can you share with us from your unique perspective of the partnership?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. So, our relationship is something that I think should be more prevalent, actually. Having the ability to hire individuals that come from different programs is really something that we take pride in. At this point, we have over 250 individuals that have some type of disability employed by American Maintenance. Having the perspective that I have, once being on the agency side and now working for an employer, I would have to say that it certainly puts me in line to make the best placements possible, because I understand a little bit more about the individual, whether I've met them before or not. I think that there's things that I know walking into a meeting with someone that I'm looking for. And I would like to say that for those that are or think that there is a specific way that you should go about it, or there's certain things that you should look for, I would say that my perspective has certainly put me in a position to have somewhat of I'm overlooking the obvious sometimes, if there is an obvious. And at the end of the day, I need to ensure that the person wants the job. Look for the basics that anybody would look for interviewing anyone, regardless of a disability or not. So I would say, I would look for certain things, having that experience on the agency side where they might hesitate a little bit, or they might not have the direct experience, but I have the ability to almost coach them while they're there, find some parallel interests or experience, and bring out some of the things that I know that someone that's coming from a background like that might not be clear or think that is important. It puts me, in a position, like I said, where, I'm almost looking for things that someone else might not, and that puts the person in a better position, because then now they think that, I'm not solely looking at the negative or what's missing. I'm looking for, someone that not only just has the experience, but is just motivated. And a lot of the time we need that alone, is the reliability and the motivation and being grateful for the opportunity.
That's great. And you always light up when you talk about this. And your roots come through. Yeah.
Thank you. It does. I've been doing this for a long time.
That's great. Give us some examples of various employment opportunities offered by American Maintenance throughout Long Island.
Sure. We are constantly seeking janitorial, landscaping, events. Snow removal is coming up. Yes, already. We're looking for snow removal. So some of the clients that we have on the island: Stony Brook University, the Welcome Center, the Armed Force Reserve Center, Old Westbury College, Nassau Community College, and being that we work with so many different individuals. We retain a lot, but then on the other side, they go back to their original job maybe that they once had, or this is just a second chance opportunity or whatever it might be. So we're always seeking people that are interested, because at one point or another, we are able to hire them, even on a per diem or a floating basis, getting them rolling and then ultimately making some type of permanent placement. So
you have a unique perspective, as we've already acknowledged, that I think could be very beneficial for potential employers. What benefits would you share with them? Why should people who haven't experienced this wonderful partnership consider it?
I think that at the end of the day, employers are looking for individuals that are motivated, interested, want the job, are grateful for the job, because, in the end, that is going to reflect in their performance. If they can get past some of the stigmas or things, someone comes in with a job coach, that doesn't necessarily mean they have any less of an ability to do something. It's just, someone that's there to help them transition. And, in my experience, what I would say is that a lot of the time when you're hiring someone that has a disability is, going to take the job maybe a little more seriously than someone who might take it for granted. They want to be there. They want to get off their benefits. They want to provide for their family. There's a factor, a mental health factor. And I think that goes for anyone, disabled or not. You have a positive outlook when you have a place to be and a job to do, and you have ultimately something to put together and to have colleagues and friends and peers, and there's just an overall sense of being when you're in a job that you like, especially. So I would say to anyone that has not taken the opportunity to hire someone with a disability, or even if you're not part of this partnership, which certainly look into if you can, but if you can, I would say that it would be a good idea. It would be a good idea to hire someone, like I said, because take your time in the interview, learn the person. If you're not getting the answers you want right away, maybe kind of try to carve out the interview a little bit more and look for some of the things, help them answer those questions, because, they're there. Those answers are there, whether they're able to, say them or not right up front. I think that if we as employers take the time to get to know the person, the joke in my office is my interviews are way too long. And I think that's just because I'm trying to really get an idea. Because if you're just placing bodies everywhere, it's not going to help you. It's not going to help your operations team. It's not going to help the individual. You want to make sure that the position works for everyone. So you have to kind of consider those extra factors in order for it to work.
That's great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
As always, eloquent.
Thank
Your
you so
passion
much,
comes
Robert.
through.
Thank you.
So one of the things that you referenced is that many of the folks have passion about their employment, and often we find that the folks we're honored to support are the true award winners. They're the employees of the month. They're the employees of the year, et cetera. And so here with us today, we have Harold Robinson, who's a porter with American Maintenance. First of all, Harold, congratulations on being recognized by NYSID, which, by the way, stands for the New York State Industries for the Disabled, as a Joslin Outstanding Performance Award recipient. That truly is a distinct achievement, Harold.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Harold.
Also, congratulations on your 3-month-old baby.
Thank you very much.
So, Harold, can you share a little bit about how has this position affected your life? How has the partnership, that Joslin Award was really for something that's very near and dear to you? From speaking to you before, I know that it's brought forth not just your work life, but your personal life. So can you share with our audience, what has this meant to you?
Well, it was an honor just to be nominated and to be considered out of the vast employees that are employed by American Maintenance. I believe it's over 1,500 people, not just in New York State, but throughout various areas of the state. So I was honored by that alone, and know that when you do have that, be chosen or be nominated, now you have a standard to maintain to say that you are really worthy of that.
That's great. So, Harold, what kind of things do you do? Tell us about the good and what your job is like and what you enjoy about it, and then just maybe share one or two of your challenges.
American Maintenance has, the position has changed my life variously because, one, it provided me with a steady income. Because prior to that, I was working part-time, and it was the time when the economy was not doing so well. So it was a struggle, especially considering my background. But American Maintenance, they gave me the opportunity and provided a steady income. It enhanced my job skills because not only was I chosen with a special group to go around throughout New York State, not just Long Island, but throughout New York City, working various jobs. I learned how to strip floors and buff and different machinery that was provided that enhanced my skills to go on to do not only what I do, but be able to mentor others as well, too.
That's great. I know you have a very giving persona, so it's wonderful that you share your gifts and what you've learned. How about a challenge, Harold? What would you like to share with our audience?
The challenge is it can be both a blessing and cursing because you're dealing with people. You're dealing with people with multiple personalities, and people think differently. And you want to be, at least myself, I want to be the one to stay balanced and realize, yes, you have supervisors that you may not agree with, but you still have to realize you're there for a purpose, and it's to work and to provide a service. And no one is perfect. So it's been a challenge at times of both staying there and not seem like you're taking the sides, as well as staying there when things are not going perhaps the way that you envisioned them, but to continue to press on and go through that and realize what your purpose is, and for me that God will work it out.
Well, Harold, if there is any potential employer out there who was hesitant to consider this opportunity, I think you just sold them. Thank you for sharing your work ethic and for the motivational aspect of your success. Because of who you are, you have inspired others. So we greatly appreciate you sharing your story with us. So today you've heard about our wonderful partnership with many people who are all focused on the gift of employment. And employment, the right match, is truly a gift. And so we thank each of you for sharing your passion, for making this magic happen on a daily basis, and for being wonderful role models for the larger community. And we know that when employers have taken the opportunity to learn more, they have never regretted it. And many of our employers will share with you that their employees of the week, the month, the quarter, the year, or people that they were introduced to through such a partnership. So we know this works. Thank you for being such great examples.
Again, thank you for listening to Speaking Free with your moderators, Christopher Long and Robert Budd. And we'd like to thank Long Island's K98.3 for partnering with Free on this radio show, which permits us the opportunity to speak about topics that are not only relevant but are empowering to those that we're honored to serve every day. Thank you to our guests.
Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you for having us.